G'day guys, Nogs here. Today I'm going to show you the absolute best way to farm slave pens as a mage, doing the 53 mob pool, so you can be better than every other mage on your server, or fast track your own mage to 70 in no time. And if you look at the minimap, you can see the hallway that we'll be killing the mobs in, so your boosties can stand at the front so they can AFK or do whatever. Which is why I think this farm will be so successful and stick around for a long time, even beyond level 64 all the way to 70. To start the guide off, I'll have a quick talk about gear while I pull these double packs into the main room. And the most important thing to know about gear and to take away from this video is that you don't need it. You're only killing mobs with Flame Strike, you're not really killing them down with Blizzard. So the tier 2 5 set and a bunch of spell power, of course it helps, but it's not required. And so I'll remove the tier 2 5 set for this pull. However, what is highly recommended to save yourself a lot of gold is the Blade of Eternal Darkness from Addons in Classic. Now this has been significantly increased in TBC. The drop rate, it only took me 5 to 10 runs to get on both my mages, and you can kill Princess with a level 58 communal geared mage. I've seen it happen. The one thing I'd say to do Princess is grab the speed enchant to boots, and the scepter will help a lot. Alright, we'll get back to the pull. So as you see, we're just grabbing these mobs here. We're trying to keep them slowed because I want to see where our pats are. And they're the biggest annoyance to this section of the pool. So our pats are on the way, not the ones right in front of us, these ones actually over here. So we're just going to ice lance everything together. Rank 1 cone these guys if they're annoying. And full shield, ready to go. We're going to ice lance these bogs, run to the middle, kind of drift them off to the side a bit, and then go. Now these are close enough I could ice lance, but I'm going to show you what I do with my Barrow of Peasant Caller. Target the mobs. And you can see my little barrows, my barrow buddies are on their way now to pull. So just going to come up here, stalling blink by the way. Blink cooldown is the only reason why I didn't go in sooner then. So remember, this is no tier 2 5 set, so we just have to stutter Blizzard a little bit more than we normally would have here. We just want to get them roughly stacked. I just don't want any stragglers. So when we go past Manu, which is Manu should be up here. It's just a bit of a pain if we have stragglers there. So I'm going to immediately jump up and block. Now that jump spot I'll show you more of throughout the run, but that is what makes this run so easy and so safe to do. It was discovered by, I think, Terraria. He was like the second person to 60, or at least the second mage farm to 60. Insane player, but yeah, he was the first one to popularize that on Twitch clips. So big shout out to him. So I marked the head of the mob with skull, and I marked the tails with X. This is just to give me an indication of how much time I've got before skull reaches me. Now quickly blink over. I don't care about stacking them tightly at this point. I'm just grouping, so I just want to get everything on me. I'm just slowing that mob. Now you can do this anyway. Like, none of this. A lot of streamers want you to do everything they do step by step, especially with the Mara 300 guides. They were an absolute pain in the ass to try and interpret and understand how to do it. And then after your 50th run, you figured out your own way, and it's just as good, if not better. So definitely don't do everything I do as a step by step. Carve your own way. So now skull's almost here, so I'm going to jump down again. And because Manu's down here, I have to be very careful. I can't let these mobs just do whatever they want and run across, so I actually have to commit a bit of time here to slow them. But we're grouping them at the same time, so it's not the worst thing. There's still one more mob pack to pull over here. With an unlocked chest as well, nice. So this room can have 2 unlocked chests, procs, and they can also be locked as well. So you would need I think a level 63 rogue to open them. So if you're boosting a rogue and you're at the end of the run, then definitely let him know to come in and open it, because every chest is like 5 gold. See, I was a little bit too close to the edge there and actually copped some repercussions. And because I didn't switch to mage armor, these guys are now heavily staggered at the back. So that is a huge mistake that's probably going to cost me 30 seconds. But it's always good to have those mistakes in the video. You don't want to show a perfect run, so they're There's enough of those on YouTube already. So I'm just going to slow these guys in the corner here. We can see our heads at Skull. It's quite a distance away. Just going to wait to the very last second that the blizzard's going to run out so they can get nice and stacked. Some range mobs coming, so I'm just going to back off a little bit. There you go. Now it's time to prepare the kill phase. So we've got all 53 mobs pretty closely stacked. There's a couple of ones that I'm not too happy about. I would like those defenders to be at the front, but can't win them all. So mark the front and the back. Make sure we've got our mage armor. And now we're going to our kill spot. There's a couple ways to get there. You can run across this area. You will not get it your first time. It took me ages to understand that the walls in this game don't actually exist, and you just need to abuse everything. But the other way we would get up, I'll show you when I drop down, will be a blink up, and then the third way will be a gnome only way. So sorry to all the horde friends, but it definitely doesn't hurt this farm. You do not need it. Blink is just as good, if not more reliable. So I'm just grouping them up here. I'm not going for kill yet, but I have put my auto toggle on, and I should have an icon when I edit this video to show you when I do and don't have slow run. I've bound it to H because imagine doing battlegrounds in TBC, so I don't need the honor tab. So I've just made that my auto walk. I want them a little bit more stacked before I go for my kill phase. A lot of people click them. I see a lot of streamers clicking. I'm not sure if this is just copium. I hope that they won't hit the blizzard, the blizzard. They won't batch through the blizzard tick, but I do it regardless, just in case. So this is just rank 1 blizzard and then max rank flame strike. So you can see my cast on the right hand side. Max rank flame strike into rank 1 blizzard. Hopefully they don't batch. They almost batch then, and it doesn't matter if they do batch. On the second blizzard rank 1 coming back through the flame strike, they will catch up, so not a huge deal. So I'm going to pop icy veins and really get going here. Now this blizzard will probably be a max rank coming back, just because of icy veins. I've got the time before I need to go back. You sometimes have to clip your rank 1 coming back, so that's why I use the max rank with icy veins, because without the tier set it's a little bit easier. So see, I just did the blizzard before the icy veins ran out and max rank. Small min max, it's not a huge thing. The most time you can make up here is not in the kill phase, it's actually in the pool. So see, I lost 30 seconds by standing too close to the wall, and I had mage armor, the ice armor. So that cost me more than anything here will. I could already be halfway through the kill phase if I hadn't made that mistake. But it's alright. It's a very safe farm once you understand the swivel, and I'll talk about the swivel a bit as well. So think of these as point A and point B, like a snake bite almost. So that's point A. This is point B. You just want to position roughly where I am, but there's heaps of positions that you can do. I see every time I open a mage stream that they're in a different spot. So it's just one that's finding one that works for you. And see, this guy almost ignored the second batch tick. So if too many of them get past the blizzard right after the flame strike, I just immediately stop that and then cast a new one when they're walking back to me. It's no biggie. So now they're at about 70%. Just double check. Yeah, they're about 60% now, so I'm going to start using max rank blizzard now on the way back, because I want to get my evocate out, and I know I've got another mana gem coming up in 30 seconds. So a mistake I made as well was not having 3 full mana gems ready to go at the start of this run, so that'll cost me some time as well. But again, you don't want perfect runs, especially when you're showing people how to do this farm. Alright, that's a good slow, so I'm going to use max rank blizzard now on the way back through. Now you will have to clip this blizzard cast, because you don't want them getting on the other side of this pillar. The other side of this pillar means they can hit you with all kinds of spells, and you don't want that. There's a There's a Immolate, there's a Fear, there's a Horrify. I think there's an MC mob in here as well, but if I don't have another person here like running around, I don't think they'll MC me, but don't take my word on that. See how they're not stacked, so I'm not going to blizzard on the way out, I'm going to blizzard on the way back. Get another one here. Very nice clear casting. Don't use all your clear castings on max rank blizzard. It really doesn't do that much damage. If you look at my damage breakdown here, it's 60% at flame strike, and that's not even, details doesn't really count the flame strike ticks on the ground accurately either, so not like it would on retail where it's like all optimized for details, etc. So I still haven't evocated. It probably cost myself 20 seconds in this pool by stalling evocate just because I'm talking so much, so probably opt to evocate in a second after this Icy Veins. As you can see, when the mobs get below, I think it's 25%, they get a lot slower, so they start walking slower. So I'm just going to evocate here. Evocated on a clear casting and Icy Veins. Not the smartest move, but again, it just shows you how great the dagger is. I have 10,000 mana coming from this Maradon dagger that I wouldn't have had. So here we go, we've got a bloke that came through. So there's a perfect opportunity. I'm going to pretend that he come through here, right? So I'm just going to let him come through and hit me. He ignored the blizzard batching tick. Go, oh crap, he's not responding, I have to drop down. As I drop down, I hug the wall. I got crippled, that's fine, I'm a gnome. It doesn't matter if you're not a gnome either. So we're just going to aim for the corner here, and we're going to blink up. So we're just going to blink up there. Now we're going to rush to this wall, and rushing to this wall allows these mobs to recognize or reaffirm that we are actually upstairs and not downstairs. So it's a nice little trick to make sure that the defenders don't just run through and burn you. So again, we're going to put slow walk back on. Going to interrupt that cripple. Don't really want him to hang around too long. So this guy doesn't like my blizzard, now he does. Okay, so we're fine now. So another reason why people are losing a lot of experience, and I saw a lot of boosties complaining, is I only got experience for half the mobs. That's because your booster, or the mage, even if you're doing solo farm, was letting the mobs go unattacked too long. So you've got to keep them interested in you, otherwise the XP you get will be the remaining health bar value. So I think XP is distributed in here by health percentage, and if you engage combat with a mob that's, let's just say 50% experience, you will only get 50% health, you'll only get 50% experience. So definitely important to always keep them keen, even if it's just Blizzard rank 1, it should be fine. So now they're low enough. I've done a lot of stuffing around. I'm at 13 minutes, so the pool should be well over by 11 or 10 minutes with Blade of Eternal Darkness, and probably 15 to 16 minutes with mana potions and level 68 pots. If you're below level 68, let's just say, if, like I said, you're doing this as a fresh mage, just grab Eternal Darkness. Like, yes, you can do it without it, but that's a lot of gold. You know, these are going for 98 silver, especially if you're solo farming. You're not actually making that much raw gold in here. You'll see when I loot in a second, the raw gold is actually quite pathetic. It's almost not worth looting and just getting to 70 and doing quests or selling the boost if you're mage solo farming in here. And I also need to put in a clip at the end of this run to show you what happens if you pull Manu. Manu is our boss in the first room. He can put down a healing totem that will completely stuff up. All the mobs' health will just go straight, like just shoot right back up to full, so definitely not worth it. Alright, so assume that the mobs will accidentally proxy Manu, which they do sometimes. Honestly, you can't help it. Alright, so I've accidentally pulled Manu. We're going to jump up and wait around the corner. We want everything to be as far as possible from the ground, so we want everything to be right here before we jump down. There's a few different ways to deal with Manu. The first one, and the easiest one, cheapest one, is invisibility and block. But because some of these mobs have a very very like huge melee paints, like they have like long arms like pirate spec in retail, is it kind of forces us to use a swift potion. So we want to be keeping Manu far away from these mobs, just so he's easy to reset, and he'll slow himself down unfortunately by lightning bolt here and there. It happens, you just have to deal with it. He doesn't actually hit that hard, so he can hit you for a few times before he causes any issues. So he's decently separated now from these mobs. Hopefully they're a bit quicker, and it doesn't matter if they get healed, it really doesn't mean anything, because like I said, the experience thing, it's almost better for the boosties, that they want to be full healed before you take him to kill phase. Alright, so he's a decent way around now. We're going to jump down and we're going to invis now. So invis has a 6 second delay until you actually get invised. And the reason why I marked everything is because now we know Manu's going back to his upstairs. So just have your cursor along, just to roughly get an idea of where these guys are. Now we know they should be right here coming out now. And this is where we'd have to swift potion, because we want to be in proxy of these mobs. So we want to actually walk up to them and get them interested in us. So there's half of them interested. These guys should turn. Beautiful. Now we just blink through, nice and safe. And we just do our jump here. Non-gnomes can save your blink. So any undead and anything like that, just walk back up normally. So there we go. We've got everything coming back up. Now a few of these mobs, any mobs in this room will reset, but that's alright. It adds like 2 or 3 minutes onto your pull. So I found that's the safest way to deal with Manu. The second way, if you accidentally pull him, is to just kill the mobs with him in the pull. Now that is a lot harder to finesse. You need to finesse the up and down, and you need to make him attack you with lightning bolt while all your mobs are in a different spot. And at all times he can choose to just stand still for 3 or 4 seconds, just looking at you and not actually casting a spell, and that'll cause the rest of the mobs to catch up and then get full heal by the totem. So it is a bit of a pain, but I found this is the easiest way, is just using invis and then copying the cost of a swift potion. It's not the end of the world. It means you don't have to get your boosties to run out, because Manu will not reset unless you invis, die, or run out of the instance. He can actually snap you to him using retail mechanics. So if people know, they've seen the MDI in retail, you can actually get snapped to the boss. So you can be 200 yards away and still get ported. So now Manu's in a nice safe spot. I'll continue and do the rest of the pull as usual. The third option to deal with Manu, actually, I should have mentioned this before, is you can actually have a booster, or if it's a friend you're boosting, actually come and tag Manu and keep him nice and separated from the rest of the pack. So for an example, what you would do if you've got someone that's bodyguarding you from Manu, you would, right now, let's just say Manu is in this pack, he's right here, we would get our booster to run up and smack Manu as hard as they can, being away from the range obviously, and then pull him to a different spot, and then just run around and kite him for a bit until he's separated, and then the booster can just use this jump spot here. If you're a gnome, it's quite easy. If you're a human, I believe you have to go more to the left, or any other race for that matter, and then they can just hop Manu in between while you kill the mobs in the normal kill phase. Okay, and that about wraps it up. So I appreciate the people who've stayed this long to watch the video. I wish I had a guide like this when I first started doing the mage farms and boosting. Hopefully this helps a lot of mages make some money, and even just level their own mages to 70. If you guys have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to hit me up. I'm always looking and always responding to them. Thanks again guys, see ya.